Rise South Africa broadcast. As all of you know, we always come to you to inform you about everything that's going on in Rise South Africa. And I want to start by thanking you because last week we had our manifesto launch here in Johannesburg and you showed up in numbers. Many of you that were in other provinces, you watched it online, you shared the video. Thank you so much for attending our manifesto. It was truly a declaration that Arise South Africa is here and that we are here to change the country. So thank you. And all of you know, before we did the physical manifesto, we were actually going through our manifesto. So the vision that we are the vision as Arise South Africa for the nation. And we've been going through our manifesto. It's been so powerful to hear your feedback. It's been truly, truly amazing. And for those of you that haven't watched it, you can go back and look at the unpacking of our manifesto. We started off with what's going on in South Africa. We looked at the history of the nation. We looked at the fact that it's time for the youth to arise. Then we went into mineral resource and energy. And today we are talking about electricity and power. When Arise South Africa is in power, when we do occupy government, what are we going to do about the electricity crisis in our nation? What are we going to do about ESCOM? How are we going to fix the load shedding? How are we going to fix the crisis that we've got in our nation? Now, politics is about solutions. People might be asking questions to say, President, why aren't we seeing you come here and dance for us or perform for us or hire an artist to entertain us? Because that's why African politics are the way that they are. Because people want to be entertained. They don't want to hear about solutions. They don't want to think and carve solutions. And that's why we are different as Arise South Africa. We come here every day to say we are discussing solutions and we debate these solutions. We're robust about our solutions. You know, I always say in the comment section, I love reading your comments and seeing everybody that is commenting and saying all these things. So, firstly, I want everybody to be aware of the fact that Arise South Africa is on all 9 provinces. We are there on the ballot paper. So, come the 29th of May, we are all voting for Arise South Africa. Are we ready? Are we ready to talk about electricity and power? What is Arise South Africa going to do about the electricity and power situation? Now, before we get there, the reason I'm talking about this is because whatever government gets into power, they are going to need to tackle the electricity and energy situation. As you can see, on the 22nd of April, there's an article that was published. It basically says ESCOM's new stage 16 load shedding. So as a government in waiting, we already preempt to say, what is it that we must tackle? Because we know that come the next day after the voting day, we know that load shedding is going to be there. And they've already scheduled stage 16. We see that. So we already know that we need to prepare. And as a government, we want to talk about solutions today. Now, it's been official. The South African government, how pathetic is this? That they've actually legislated or scheduled 16 stages of load shedding. This was it was approved by the National Energy Regulator of South Africa, NERSA. Now, they're basically saying that they are going to be increasing more cycles or more stages of load shedding. We're looking for jobs, solutions. South Africa is the richest country in the world. And our government is scheduling load shedding, stage 16. So we're going to discuss how do we fix load shedding? How do we go about it? But before we do that, I want to educate you a bit because there's some people that don't understand. And I was one of those people that didn't understand load shedding. I used to believe that we have load shedding because of bad management and because we don't have the resources to have electricity. I'm not lying to you. A year ago, if you asked me about load shedding, I used to believe that. Until I started to actually understand what is going on in load shedding. And I want us to start somewhere very critical. I want us to start by understanding that the ANC government that we have got, they benefit from ESCOM through a company known as Chancellor House. I did a video on this where I taught and I explained. They get tenders from ESCOM. They are not the only ones. There are many companies that benefit from ESCOM. And I don't want us to be citizens that think like chickens. The fact that we've had a couple of days of no load shedding, we think it's gone. And we forget about it and we continue. Because when it comes back, It's important that people are educated. So we should not shut down the load shedding conversation. They were looking at algorithms, they were looking at searches, and they said, let's ensure that a few days before elections, we take away load shedding. It's been said that a human brain, if for 21 days something doesn't happen, they forget. So we are not those that have forgotten. I want everybody right now in the comment section, type load shedding. You can't forget it. Load shedding. They took away jobs. They took away small businesses through load shedding. Remember, load shedding kills the small business. Load shedding kills opportunities for young people in this country. Load shedding kills lives. So we can never forget. They must never think that by them taking away load shedding a month before elections, we are all going to forget and think everything is right. No, load shedding must be remembered. And I want everybody to share this video. And as you share it, type in load shedding. We must remember this. Now, it's important to understand that Eskom is an entity that is able to borrow money from international institutions. That's the first thing. Very important. I want to read this. We are on page 18 of our manifesto. If you're following through, please, we are there. The South African government is taking on more international debt to bail out Eskom. I want us to understand this. Eskom is a company that is able to carry international debt. Now ask yourself this question. What is the percentage of the debt that we are getting from Eskom? Is it a 5% loan? Is it a 10% loan? You will be shocked at the amount of percent that must be repaid back because of the Eskom loan. So you and I have to pay back these Eskom loans. Every taxpayer in this country, you need to pay back the Eskom loans. It doesn't matter who you are. The money you earn in the nation will be taken to pay back Eskom. Now, this loan that they take for Eskom, the money ends up in corrupt officials' hands. Because what essentially happens is the money that's supposed to be assisting citizens is money that goes to Eskom and it's stolen by entrepreneurs, and we still have no electricity. So not only are they stealing the future of the nation by giving people a hopeless situation of no electricity, they are stealing even the funds that they are borrowing. They are stealing your future. That's important. Because there are people that are not aware of the fact that whoever gets into government, the first thing they need to do is deal with the debt of Eskom. Why? Because they've stolen what was there and they continue to even steal the future. We must get rid of them. Come the 29th of May, we need to get rid of them. Very important. There's one thing that they do to the minds of Africans. And I think it's because we are good people. I think because Africans inherently are very good people. The one thing they do to the minds of Africans is that they play on the minds of African people. Just because we haven't had load shedding for the last 20-something days, people have started to forget. Some are even beginning to forgive. Some are even saying, no, you know what? Maybe it won't be that bad to vote for them. At least they've improved. No. We will not be fooled. We will not be deceived. Now, the CEO of Eskom told us that there were criminal syndicates that are even getting richer inside of Eskom. And that's important to note because essentially the future of our country's finances are being killed by Eskom. What Eskom is doing is they keep increasing the taxes. They increase VAT to 15%. They increase the earning taxes. Why? So that they can keep paying back Eskom. So they steal money that they've loaned from international companies, they loot it through Eskom so that the citizens that are coming in are able to then pay back these loans. And that's why we have to get rid of them. We have to. If there's one thing we will not fail at doing is getting rid of this corrupt government come the 29th of May. And we'll ensure that this happens. And that's why I want to thank all of you to say every time you share these videos, you are sharing the truth and you are ensuring that our country changes. Now, load shedding in 2023, it cost our economy 1.6 trillion. Those that were saying that, no, load shedding is gone, let's forgive and forget. In 2023, last year, we lost 1.6 trillion in economic activity that was lost because of Eskom. and you want to quickly forget and vote for them. You want to quickly forgive and vote for them when they've stolen from you, the citizens of the country, 1.6 trillion because of load shedding. We will never forget what they did. And it's important that we don't forget, because they are thinking that because load shedding is gone, everybody will forget. People will think things are back to normal. No, we will not forget. Type in the chat box 1.6 trillion. 1.6 trillion. When you go out and you are campaigning for Arise South Africa, because we are in a full campaign mode. Wherever we go, we are informing people. Arise South Africa is on the ballot paper. When you get to the provincial ballot, you are looking for Arise South Africa, the abbreviation ASA, ASA. You go there and you'll see the face of a handsome president and you put an X next to it. We are doing this on a daily basis. When you get there and they say, why? You say, because they stole 1.6 trillion from you. Very important. Very, very important in 2023. Now, it's also important for us to look at what industries get destroyed when there's load shedding. Because load shedding is a planned activity by the ANC government to destroy our nation. So when they give this load shedding, what are the industries that are affected the most? Two of them: agriculture and manufacturing. Imagine industries that are supposed to create jobs. Remember, we discussed this already and if you haven't watched it, go back and watch part 2 and part 3 where we spoke about the mineral resources. In our country, we should be manufacturing goods. Why? Because we have all the mineral resources in this country needed to become a wealthy nation. We can't do that if we've got load shedding. So even when people want to invest in our nation to build factories, to create jobs, they are discouraged because they're saying, how will my factory work when I don't have electricity? So not only are they stealing from the people of this country through load shedding, they are also discouraging anybody from investing in the nation. You know, when we talk about these things, sometimes people think we're being dramatic. Sometimes people think that we're over-exaggerating. No, we have a serious enemy in this nation. A very serious enemy that wants to see South Africa go under. And that's why the more we get closer to the elections, you must intensify. Do you see what has been going on? Because the enemy we are fighting is also intensifying. They are also at war. And that's why I say the moment you become a leader in Arise South Africa, just know you've signed up for a war. And the good thing about the war we are in is that we are on the winning side of the war, because history will absolve us. It's been written about us in the volume of the book that Arise South Africa will come and change the future of this nation. And that's why it's important for us to be aware, for us to note that the 30 days we have left towards the election, we are running full speed. We are campaigning full speed every day to say there is an enemy that is trying to make you forget about the strategies and the things that they've done to our nation. We will not forget. The second industry load shedding affects the most is agriculture. Agriculture, the food. They want to ensure that where we are strong already, they weaken our nation. Now, it's important for us to learn that the reason why unemployment continues, it starts from the root, load shedding. You know, I said to somebody that load shedding is darkness. And we all understand that nothing good can come out of darkness. That's why they want there to be load shedding. It's symbolic. Those that understand what I'm talking about, it's symbolic. They want you to be in the dark. It's like they want to cover you so that you don't actually see what is going on. And that's why we are intensifying our fight every single day. Every single day we are intensifying our fight. Every single day, we are going out there and alerting everybody. We're shedding the light. We're spreading the light. We're spreading the truth. That's what our campaign is banked upon. And I want you to type in the comment section, I am an Arise Truth Soldier. I am an Arise Truth Soldier. Why? Because every day you go out there and you fight this darkness by telling the truth. You let the people know exactly what is going on in their nation. Now, I want us to quickly go through something, because sometimes people don't understand what load shedding does to an already existing business. Let me explain how load shedding destroys an already existing business. We're on page 19. So consumers, you, the people who are buying, everything increases in price. Why? Because Electricity is a cost that is factored in the price of everything. So, for example, you might be asking, but President, me buying my meat from Spar or from Woolworths or from Pick and Pay, how am I affected by load shedding? Let me explain how. That meat you are buying, Pick and Pay needs to make an alternative to keep it cold during load shedding. What do? They get diesel, they get generators. That cost, they don't carry it themselves. They increase it on the price of things. Does it now make sense why the price of things has been going up? So not only is this government keeping you in the dark, they are also making everything more expensive for you. They are stealing money from your pocket. I'm a truth soldier of Arise. That's what I'm doing. I'm telling you the truth so that you may know and realize, oh, load shedding is one of their strategies. Now, automatically, our people will have less spending power. Now, when you have less spending power, what does that mean? It means the economy begins to suffer. Small businesses begin to suffer. People start spending less money in the economy because now they are buying the same boerewors, which before load shedding was cheaper, but now because they factored in costs of keeping generators running during load shedding is more expensive. Your budget is still, your salary is still the same, so you have less money to spend. So you start cutting things off. What happens? That's somebody's job that you've cut off in the economy. Do you see how the economy is in, now we're going into economics. We are going into the business world and understanding exactly how everything is co-linked. That's why we must not forget what they did with load shedding. Oh, they need to be punished. The 29th of May, we will punish them. We will punish them. Why? Because they knew what they were doing. It's a planned thing that they do. That's why it's important for us to ensure that. Now, another thing that begins to happen is that because there's less spending in the economy, now reports start coming out to say South Africans are not spending, their economy is not growing, things are not growing. Now what happens? Less investment. Our stats are now decreasing. That's why you began to hear things like Nigeria is taking over as an economy, Egypt is taking over as the biggest economy in Africa. Why? Because there's a direct attack on our economy. Why? Load shedding. It took me a while to believe this, but I've come to learn that it's true. We have an enemy in our nation, and this enemy will stop at nothing until this country is destroyed. And that's why come the 29th of May, we must never forget. Every time you sat in the dark, let that holy anger come back to you. Every time you were inconvenienced because of load shedding, let that holy anger come. Use that to campaign. When you go out, because every day we are going out as Arise South Africa, and I've been seeing the pictures and the videos of everybody who's going out. We are a strong force out there. People are seeing us everywhere. So when we go out every day, remind them of what load shedding did. And when you remind them, paint this picture that we are painting right now. Now, here's the painful part about all of this that I'm saying. South Africa has one of the largest reserves of coal, which produces electricity. We have enough coal reserves to power Africa for the next, not South Africa, to power Africa for the next 100 years. Yet our economy is being killed by load shedding. Now, you might be asking yourself, how do they benefit? Oh, there's a secret that I've got. And sometimes I often wonder and say, hey, sometimes we want to speak, but we can't speak because we know the enemy we are dealing with is an enemy that has murdered people before. So sometimes when we speak, we are limited. But let me say this. Whenever there is load shedding, there are companies that profit from selling diesel that runs generators at Eskom and to businesses. I want you to do your own research. Who owns companies that supply South Africa with diesel? You'll find out that the person who owns it is actually the head of the country. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it there. Now, there are a lot of people that want South Africans to suffer out there, and they are making a profit. These are people that are doing this thing, and they will go as far as trying to decampaign the country not to have electricity. I want to just take you through the benefits of coal. Because we've got coal power stations that are able to function. All we need to do is to fire them up and get them going. So there are lots of people out there that say, no, but coal is bad. Coal is going to make us cough. Hey, coal this, hey, coal that. Europe, America, and China were built on coal, on fossil fuels for all these years. Why is it that when it's Africa's turn to now develop, all of a sudden coal is going to kill us, coal is bad? No, there are solutions to coal. And let's talk about it, because whenever we talk, people will say, no, but Arise South Africa only talks about the negative. What are the solutions? Right, let's go into the solutions. The benefits of using coal power stations. We've got coal power stations already. There are many coal power stations in this country that are not even being used, that can be used for us to have electricity. The first one, coal is cost effective. We're able to get electricity at a very cheap price. The second one, it's reliable. Coal is not like solar. When there's no sun, you don't have energy. No, coal is reliable. Coal creates jobs. The amount of people that have jobs because of coal in our country. Coal is actually secured energy. It's consistent. When you look at supply chain disruptions of energy sources, when you look at wars that are happening, sometimes there's supply chain issues, but with coal, it's consistent. So that's very important. And lastly, it's a contribution, or it contributes to our economic growth. Why? Because we've got lots of coal in our nation. So there are so many benefits of coal, yet we have coal power stations that they are deliberately switching off. Sometimes they are sabotaging them. So ESCOM, or the load shedding issue, is a situation that we must not forgive as South Africans, because the solutions are here before us, yet they refused to implement them. They chose to keep the country suffering because of what has happened. Now, there are people that say, President, what about carbon? I like to call these people, they'll say, no, but President, there's carbon. Carbon energy is bad for us. Hey, carbon will kill us. Hey, carbon this. You must tell them that it's a good thing that Arise South Africa is filled with intellectuals, people that have studied and understand how things work in this world. There are technologies that exist that are able to capture carbon and change it to another energy source. Whenever somebody suggests that there's something impossible in this world, you need to remind them two things. Number one, God who created the world, are you saying to us that he did not think that there will be solutions to the problems that we'll experience in this world, that he didn't care? That's the first one. The second one is that, are you saying that we have finished solutions that exist in this world? I mean, there were people that used to believe that the world is flat. Today, we all understand the truth. There are so many solutions, and young people out there that have got solutions that can be implemented to combat this capture carbon. So all these people that are saying, no, but coal, listen, there are technologies that are used to capture coal in the atmosphere. We are able to use that coal to be able to do so many different things and create different businesses. There's even a Harvard study that has been developed to show us how to capture coal and use it. I'll quickly explain. On top of a coal power station, when all those emissions are coming out and they're saying this is CO2 that's going to kill us, you are able to capture all those emissions. And the Harvard study even went as far as saying South Africa has got so many open mines, dumps that children fall into, that we are able to store the carbon the CO2 within those mines. So the solutions that we've got to the CO2 gang, we've got too many solutions. So the time of them fooling us and making us believe that we should switch off coal stations and depend on them, it's over. And if this is too technical for you, don't worry. You don't need to go into it. But I wanted to address them because I know them, that they will be there waiting to say, oh, but what about this? What about... No, we have the solutions. And if you want to test us, you're more than able to. You're more than able to read the Harvard studies and debate us on it. I welcome any debate on somebody who's saying that coal is going to kill us, coal in this. I welcome that debate openly, and I will have it openly, even on this platform. Now, I want us to move to the fact that South Africa does not only have coal, we also have gas. Remember, we are dealing with load shedding today. Remember, Arise South Africa campaigns differently. We are not coming here and singing songs and calling somebody to come and entertain you. No, we are coming here and we're letting you know, to say, as a government in waiting, when the 29th of May hits and Arise South Africa is elected, the next day we begin to implement. It's all here. The vision is clear. We are ready to run with the vision. It will be unfortunate if you don't play your part and we don't find that Arise South Africa is there. So that's why we are all playing our part to say the vision has been written, it's clear. Every day we are going out there and letting everybody know, door to door, house to house, that hey, there is a solution to load shedding. Arise South Africa has documented that solution. You can go and check it, you can read it, you can share it, you can debate it, you can share the video with them to say load shedding has been debunked. Now with our gas, we are able to power our industry. Remember, I'm not saying that we will find gas. I'm not saying we will pray that gas. No, gas already exists within our nation. Now, a couple of things about using gas, the benefits. We can lower those emissions, those carbon emissions. We don't need to deal with them. It's cost effective. It's in the ground. It's already there. It's reliable. It's already there in the ground. It's a secure energy because it allows us to be able to have a good energy mix, coal and gas. We have a good mix between the two. Job creation. Now, the infrastructure that we'll build because of gas is going to be able to create so many jobs. So we've got gas and we've got coal. These are two energy sources that because we've got them, we have no business with load shedding. I don't understand why the government or the National Energy Regulator of South Africa under this government of the ANC has published or accepted or approved load shedding to stage 16. Imagine. They think that South Africans are so foolish, they are going to vote for them to bring back load shedding again. And when they are coming back with the new load shedding, they're saying, oh no, stage 8 was too little. We are going to stage 16. They are going to see something they've never seen before. They are going to see something that they've never seen before. Now, I want to talk about something that I learned and I studied. Science is beautiful. I think, when you read about solutions, there's just that thing inside of you that just says, man, science, man. Okay, let's talk about gas. Right. Now, we all know Cecil, right? We all know Cecil. It's a big company in our country. There are companies in our country that has basically been able to, number one, change gas into a liquid fuel like diesel. Can you imagine? So it's called CTL. Okay, let me maybe start with CTL because I'm trying to read, but I also don't want to lose people. So let's maybe start with coal, because we started with coal, right? You can basically take coal and you can turn it into diesel or oil or gasoline. It's possible. Now, I'm going to read it, right? South Africa has explored alternative sources of diesel fuel, such as coal to liquids. It's called coal to liquids, CTL. Type in CTL technology. CTL technology, coal to liquid technology. Sasol, a South African energy and chemical company, has pioneered CTL technology. Sasol, a company in South Africa. We've got CTL, which converts coal into liquid fuels, including diesel, gasoline, and kerosene. Sasol's Secunda plant, those of you that know where Secunda is the world's largest commercial CTL facility and produces more than 150,000 barrels of diesel per day. Remember what I said to you. There are people in this country that are making billions every day. They don't want you to know about it. So they'll keep telling you that our country is failing, our country is struggling. No, we are the best in the world. Cecil has pioneered CTL, a technology that uses coal and we create liquid fuels. I want to read the number, 150,000 barrels of diesel per day. Somebody might say, but President, we don't know about this. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. They want you to be doing dance challenges. I mean, imagine a whole ruling party. All they've got before elections is a dance challenge. That's it. They want you to be watching TikToks. They don't want you to know that there are companies in this country that produce amazing things. And it's happening. And they're selling it out to all these other countries. So let me ask you to say, if we've got all these solutions, why is it that Eskom is crumbling? Why is it that we're still buying fuels from other countries at expensive and exorbitant prices? Why is it that the economy is struggling so much because of load shedding? Because they want it to be that way. That's the truth. And the moment you realize the truth will set you free. We don't have an issue of understanding how to create electricity in this country. No, we have an issue of greedy people that pry on the knowledge of the poor, and they believe that they will fool the poor and the poor will believe them. That's why a few days before elections, they switch on electricity. And where is all of this electricity coming from? Where has it been? Where was it stored? It's always been there. The coal has always been there. The power stations have always been there. They just switch them off so that they can make money by selling to Eskom, by looting all the billions that they've already given, by loans that they took for Eskom. Do you see why the voice of Arise South Africa is so strong? Do you see why we are a needed force in our country? Because other political parties, I don't understand. I don't know if they don't read. I don't know if they don't research. I don't know what's going on. They don't talk about these things. It's as though they want the country to continue in darkness. So in Arise South Africa, when we go out there, we need to make sure that everybody remembers load shedding. Remind them every day on your timeline, on your statuses, on social media, remind them that load shedding was a thing. We experienced it. It took trillions away from the economy. Our jobs were taken because of load shedding. People lost their livelihoods because of load shedding. People died because of load shedding. We will not forget. So ensure that everywhere, every single day as you campaign, use load shedding. Remind the people of load shedding that the ANC government created a problem that did not exist for us to be able to suffer. And before elections, they think that they can just switch everything back on and we'll all forget. That's not how it works. We remember load shedding and we are going out there and we're telling everybody about load shedding. Let's go back to CTL. Coal to liquid technology. Now, I also want to, let me maybe just read this before we go on. South Africa has the capacity to produce its own diesel through the refining of crude oil. The country has several oil refineries, including the SAPREF refinery in Durban and the NATREF refinery in Sasolburg. People don't know this. We have oil refineries in our country. People don't know this. Why don't they know this? Because the moment they figure it out, people will begin to hold the government more accountable. They don't want you to know. They want you to only think that no, coal, oil, all these things are also difficult to make. It's so difficult and nobody can make it. We don't have the expertise. Then they come and lie to you and say, we don't have the skills. Then they come and lie to you and say, we don't have the money. Then they come. So what are these? By the way, Sasol is a private company that has got people that continue to benefit from it every day. Shareholders that have become billionaires through the solutions that it's created. If these are already working, then what are they saying? They are lying. And we are tired of those lies. And that's why Arise South Africa, every day we are coming in and we are hitting them hard by telling the truth, telling it as it is. We are just, that's the bedrock of our campaign. We tell the truth. And here's the thing about the truth. The moment somebody hears the truth, they resonate with it. People are able to go on Google and research. I mean, if I was lying, people would not be watching this. If I was lying, people would be able to comment in the comment section and prove that I'm lying. It's the truth, and they have no excuses. So load shedding is an issue that they created. Now let's talk about the coal to diesel technology, CTL. I want you to type in CTL in the chat box. I want you to type it in. You must never forget. You must never, because when you go out there and you are campaigning, don't just say the words that other political parties say. No, we are going to build you toilets. We are going to give you water. No. We'll do those things. But we need to also show how Arise is different. To say, we're going to explore technologies like CTL. Coal to liquid technologies. It's already been done by Sasol. It's already being used. We already have a lot of coal. We are able to become a global superpower by such easy things in our nation because everything is already available. And it's important for us to do so. Now, let's continue. What are the benefits of diesel? Because if we're exploring coal to liquids technology and we've got diesel, what are some of the benefits? The first one, it's cost effective. We already have the coal. The coal is sitting. People that come from Mpumalanga will tell you that, hey, coal in Mpumalanga is just there on the ground. They kick it. They walk all over it. You know, it's something they were just born with. That's who we are as Africans. Minerals are all over. When we walk, we are walking already on streets of gold. We are walking on coal. That's who we are. And for so many years, they've tried to suppress us and lie to us so that we don't realize our full potential. But that time is over. The truth is now coming out. The second thing, energy density. Now, diesel has got, let me read it. Diesel has a high energy density. What's a high energy density? It means it can generate a lot of energy per unit of volume. So diesel is able to generate a lot of energy per unit. So things like manufacturing that need strong electricity. This is where people talk about three-phase electricity and more. This is where now we are talking about diesel being able to power those things. The other one, availability. Diesel is available everywhere. If you go and you want to pour petrol in your car, I don't think there's about 100 kilometers in this country without diesel being available. So the issues to load shedding, they exist. Reliability, it's always there. It's very rare to find that diesel is now lacking. And lastly, mobility. We are able to move it to whatever area to make sure that power is there. So it's important for us to understand that it's a lie. It's a lie. They are lying to us. Every day, they've been lying to us about load shedding. And I've known the truth. And I said that, before election, we are going to start a very strong campaign of shedding the truth. A very strong campaign every day when we come here. And you must be a part of it. You must be. How are you a part of it? You share, you like, and you comment. Very important. We need to get the message out there that they've been lying to people about load shedding. They lied to the point where they created a minister of load shedding. And taxpayers have been paying for that new minister of load shedding when they created their own problem. They lied to a point where they create a problem and they lie about creating a solution to the problem that they lied to actually create. They lied. They lied. And there are still people that don't believe it. And this is why we released the manifesto. To say, go through the manifesto. In our manifesto, when we wrote the Arise South Africa manifesto, we didn't write like all the other political parties where we are talking about somebody who's dead and we are saying, hey, this theory from this one will do. No, we wrote about the practical things that are happening in our nation. We wrote about solutions that are relevant and current to the time that we exist. And it's all here. I'm reading out of the Arise South Africa manifesto. And you are able to research this, Google it. And those that are researching what I'm saying, please share articles in the comment section so that the others that are coming back to actually read about what I'm saying, they can actually read these articles. Now, the media is also in on it because the media does not report this. The media doesn't talk about the fact that we pioneered this industry. The media doesn't talk about the fact that in Secunda, we have the world's largest commercial CTL facility, that we produce 150,000 barrels of diesel per day. They don't talk about it. They don't want the people of this country to know the wealth that exists within this nation. And that's why, as a Rise South Africa, every day we talk about it. Every day we educate each other to say, load shedding is a lie. They created this lie. And I know it's sometimes a painful thing to believe. I know sometimes you grapple with it in your mind because you think about all the times you had to sit in the dark, every single time that you didn't have an opportunity because of it. And your mind sort of wants to believe that, no, they tried their best to fix it. They didn't. They created this lie and they perpetuate this lie and they continue to steal from this lie. And what is their plan? Oof. We know when I say we are the restraining force, my only issue, Bazwalan, is that, hey, these people, because when we start to tell the truth, remember, we are messing up with their plans. As I'm speaking to you now, there's somebody who's making billions every day because of load shedding. They are planning in the next election to continue making billions. Then they're going to hear that there is a Rise South Africa that's telling the truth and people are knowing the truth. They're not going to be happy about it. They're going to try and shut us down. They're going to try and keep us under. They're going to try and sabotage us. And already you've seen what we've been going through recently. And I've been quiet as we've been going through all those things. I've been quiet and watching them and saying, how convenient that Arise South Africa is going through all these things. All these things. And their plan was for us to give up. Their plan was for us to get to a point where we run out of funds, where we give up, where we get tired, and where we keep quiet. The things I'm sharing with you now, they did not want these things to ever come out. They've kept them away from the media. They've kept them away from the public. Why? Because they don't want the nation to know the truth. Let me be honest with you. The only place you hear about these things is when you attend investment conferences where government people are trying to get people to invest in the country so that they can steal the money that is already, that the people will be investing in the country. That's the only time you hear about these things. Outside of that, you don't hear about them at school. You don't hear about them on the news. You don't hear about them on news articles. Why? Because there's somebody on the other side who's benefiting. And guess what? That person has planned out and crafted out their plan to say, we're going to fool them before the election. We're going to give them so much electricity. They'll forget about everything that we did. And the day after election, we are going to go back and hit them even harder. Because why would they publish? Why would they get a national entity to publish and approve load shedding stage 16? They are basically preparing for the final lap to say, we want to destroy South Africa to the point where when we are done with them, everybody in this country gives up. That's why they published load shedding stage 16. Ask yourself, on the 22nd of April, why would the National Energy Regulator of South Africa, NERSA, why would they approve that load shedding be moved from stage 8 and moved to stage 16, where we are now going to be having more cycles of load shedding? Why would they approve something that's not coming? Oh, but we are here. Oh, we are here. The mistake they made was leaving Arise South Africa on the ballot paper. No. They should have taken Arise South Africa out completely. But there was a mistake that they made. They left us on all 9 provinces. That's the mistake that they made. And they thought that by leaving us on all 9 provinces, we're going to be quiet. By leaving us out of national, we're not going to be able to affect things like load shedding. Oh, what a big mistake. Because remember, they knew what they were doing. They knew that I had this information about load shedding. They knew that the moment I enter parliament, the first thing we were going to deal with is to stop the loans that Eskom is taking for load shedding and fix the load shedding situation. They knew it. And they planned that, no, we can't have Arise South Africa in parliament. They said, no. We can't have him. We can't have somebody who tells the truth in parliament. They said, let him go to provincial. Let him go there to provincial. And I looked at it and I said, my goodness, they have fired their best shot. What do we do? Do we sit down? Do we cry? Do we give up? What do we do? And I remember to say the reason why we are called Arise, the reason why we are called Mighty Eagles is because an eagle only comes out when things are tough. An eagle only comes out when the storms are raging. The eagle only comes out when they're saying that now we've entered a territory where things are going to be impossible. An eagle only comes out when they've planned everything and they've said, we've gotten rid of everybody who will stop us from continuing to loot through load shedding. Just when they think they've completed their plan. That's when the eagle comes out. So we were waiting. We knew that the storm was going to rage. And now we know we're a few days away from election. Now that we know we're a few days away from election, now that we've signed, by the way, today Arise South Africa signed in Gauteng. We are there on all 9 provinces. So in all 9 provinces, we've signed the ballot paper to ensure that we are there. So in every single province, you will find us on the provincial ballot. Now that we know and we've signed and we know that we are there, now we can start to speak. Now we can start to tell the truth. And my goodness, we're going to tell the truth on so many matters. Tomorrow we are talking about agriculture and land. That's what we're talking about tomorrow. Agriculture and land. So you must not miss. You must not miss these sessions. I appeal to you to say, set a timer. Go back and watch them, because what these sessions are doing, they are basically building the truth in you. And everybody who understands the truth will begin to go out in our nation. Everywhere you go, you need to go door to door. You need to go and let them know the truth. You need to go and let them know that we have been lied to. We've been lied to. That there is an enemy that is trying to destroy our nation. And that the eve of election, a few days before election, they bring back electricity so that we can forget. We are not going to forget. We are not going to forget. No. We won't forget what they did with load shedding. That in 2023, we lost 1.6 trillion as a nation. People lost their jobs. The small businesses closed down. Opportunities that this country could have had were taken away because of load shedding. We will not forget. So as we go out And I know that everybody is going out door to door every day where you are. Whether you are using public transport, you stand up in that taxi in the morning and you say, I've got a message to share. I've got a message to share that let us not forget 30 days ago we had load shedding. Let us not forget that we had to spend more to be able to buy inverters, to be able to buy generators. Let us not forget. You preach this message everywhere. You go out and you let them know that they must not forget that there was a government that played with us. They made us, or they let us think that there is an issue with electricity when there was no issue at all. And now they are coming out as though they've now achieved or fixed load shedding. And they release the National Authority on Load Shedding, releases a schedule to stage 16. We are not those. We are not those to be fooled. We are not those that are going to be fooled. So every single day as you go out, ensure that you don't leave this line. Yes, I see the CTL line. The CTL line will also be used when you are talking about CTL. I see that. But it's important that you remember the truth. Arise, South Africa. We tell it as it is. We tell the truth. That's what we stand on. And that's what we are going to be doing as we go out door to door. You are telling them the truth. You're knocking door to door and you're saying, neighbor, don't forget. Don't forget what you went through load shedding. Don't forget what they did to you. It was a direct attack on you. It was a direct attack on the destiny of South Africa. It was a direct attack on the jobs of the young people. It was a direct attack on your finances. It was a direct attack on the nation. They attacked the nation and they plan to destroy it. Don't forget. They plan on coming back for round 2. After the election, after the 29th of May, they plan on coming back for round 2. They've already published up to stage 16 of load shedding. Don't forget! We are cutting them off. We are cutting them off. We are cutting every plan that they've planned, all their plans that they've planned for them to kill this nation through load shedding, we cut them off. All the plans that they've planned to sell this electricity through private sectors and increase their prices, we are cutting them off. Every plan that they've planned, it will come to nothing. Why? Because the truth shall be told in this nation. To say we don't need people that will create issues for them to come and make money through South Africans. We need the truth to be told. And the truth is that we've always had enough electricity. The truth is that this nation has got enough power to sustain itself. The truth is that load shedding is a man-made thing that they are trying to use to benefit from the future of Africa. And it's important that each and every one of us, as we go out there, that fire must be in you. When you are a soldier of the truth, that fire must be in you to say, how many people have I told the truth? You must go out there. You must go and tell the truth. Go and let them know that we had a government that planned to destroy the country. It's important. So I want us to take a pledge. I want us to take a pledge. I want us to end off tonight's session by pledging to say, how many people are you going to go and tell the truth to? How many people are you going to go and share the truth with? Because there are people out there that walk on in lies and they don't even know that they are being lied to. There are still people that believe that they deserve load shedding. There are still people that believe that if they continue voting for the way that they are going to vote, load shedding will come to an end. There are still people that believe that after the 29th of May, electricity is going to miraculously continue. It won't happen unless we go out there and tell the truth. So I want each and every one of us to pledge. Wherever you are, make a pledge. Wherever you are, I'm going to ask you to stand up. I'm going to ask you to stand up and make that pledge. How many people are you going to tell? In the comment section, let me know. And we are starting the pledges at 50. There's a group of people that are saying, President, I'm going to personally speak to 50 people and let them know about the load shedding situation and let them know that when they vote, they need to vote for the truth. They need to vote for Arise South Africa. There's a second group that's going to pledge for 100 people. You are saying, I'm going to talk to 100 people and tell them the truth, that they must vote for Arise South Africa, a political party that stands for the truth. There's a third group that's going to pledge for 500 people. 500 people. 500 people. 500 people. And then I want another group that's going to take the matter even further. Because it's important when you know the truth. By the way, you don't just keep quiet. No. the truth needs to be spread. It needs to go out so that people understand it. This group that I'm going to call upon, these are people that are going to say, President, I'm going to use my money to print out t-shirts that tell the truth about load shedding. I'm going to use my money to print out pamphlets that tell the truth about load shedding. I'm going to use my money to print out boards that tell the truth about load shedding. I'm not only going to just act by going door to door, I'm also going to ensure that I use my money to tell the truth. It's important because the lie has been told so many times. The lie has been told on SABC News. The lie has been told on SABC Radio. The lie has been told on social media. The lie has been told. The lie has gone out to so many people. And that's why, remember, when they go out there and they tell people about load shedding, they make sure that they publish government gazettes. They make sure that they talk to news stations. They get news anchors. News anchors will come and lie to you. Oh, it seems we're still struggling with load shedding. We might take some time before we get it right. They go out and they publish some articles. They host conferences. They sponsor the lie because they make money from the lie. They use their propaganda machine so that they can make money from the lie. So we who are telling the truth, we must not be naive in thinking that we're just going to talk about the truth amongst ourselves and that's it. We must publish the truth everywhere. Everybody must know about the truth. The same aggression that they use to sponsor the lie, the same aggression, the same way news articles talk about the fact that we've got load shedding and we'll continue having load shedding. We need news articles start talking about the fact that Arise South Africa has got solutions to fix load shedding. We need the news to go out there to say load shedding is a lie. Load shedding is something that they created to control the minds of the people. Load shedding is a scheme that they use amongst themselves so that they can continue to make money from South Africans. We need to sponsor the truth. So thank you to everybody who's making a pledge. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I see those pledges. I see those pledges of everybody making a pledge. Thank you. Thank you so much for making that pledge. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm seeing the messages of everybody who's making these pledges. Thank you. Because if we don't sponsor the truth, who will sponsor the truth? Who will sponsor the truth? If we are not committed to making sure that everybody knows this truth, who's going to sponsor it? Because they are committed in sharing the lie. They go as far as advertising the lie everywhere. They'll ensure that the word load shedding even becomes a part of the vocabulary. They ensure that they have people out there telling us that load shedding is part of life. No, it's a lie. We have enough. And I've showed you this today to say we have enough. And the Arise Manifesto also shows you. So the truth campaign is on. The truth campaign is on. Thank you to everybody who's saying, look, we are going to stand for the truth. Yes, the truth campaign is on. And if you are even able to, share this video. Take the link and sponsor, boost the post so that more people can come and see this video where we tell the truth. Because if we don't stand up for the truth, who's going to stand up for it? Who's going to stand up for it? The billionaires that make money from load shedding? No, they won't. So every day we are going out there. Every single day when we wake up, we remember we are the last hope for this nation. If we don't tell the truth, everybody else is lying to the people. Every day we wake up with that fire and that conviction to say we can't give up as Arise South Africa. Yes, we see the challenges. Yes, we see the issues, but we are not going to give up. We refuse to give up. We are resolute. We are prepared. We are ready. Every day we wear our t-shirts. We wear our shirts. We go in door to door, house to house. We knock. Some of them reject us. They insult us. We continue. Every day we tell the truth. We don't get tired of telling the truth. We are preparing for an election. Our campaign is centered on truth. Everything we do, we tell the truth in Arise South Africa. And the truth is that load shedding is a man-made issue. The truth is that they are lying to us about load shedding. The truth is that they are trying to fool us by giving us electricity so that we forget about it. Well, we'll use it for our benefit. The reason that everybody's got electricity now, more people are able to watch these videos. More people are able to share these videos. We will use it to our benefit, but the nation must know the truth. We will never forget what they did to us. The amount of money that they stole from the people of South Africa. We are going out every single day as leaders of Arise South Africa. Wherever you are, every day you are armed with the truth. You are going out to let them know about the truth, to say that this government continues to lie for this nation. And they want to ensure that we are destroyed. I said to somebody that it won't happen. The fact that they published that stage 16 is coming, it won't happen. No, 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 no. We refuse. It will not happen. As long as we are here, we will not see South Africans suffer. It will not happen. So they better just close up shop. They better give up already. Because if they could not get us off the elections, the fact that we are in, if they could not, oh, and they tried everything. They tried everything, but they failed at the end. If they could not destroy us then, that they better know that history is unfolding. Destiny is unfolding. Things are beginning to fall into place. The message of Arise South Africa will resonate with the whole of South Africa. Why? Because it is the truth. And the truth will always prevail. A lie can go as far as it wishes, but the truth will catch up with it. And we are sharing the truth. So I want everybody to make sure that you share this video. Make sure that you share this with everybody. Let them know the truth. That, hey, come the 29th of May, these people that thought we'd forget about load shedding, it's over for them. It's over, it's over, it's over. Arise South Africa has told the people the truth. The people know the truth. They understand the truth. And as a result of that, the people are going to vote wisely. I look forward to that day. I look forward to the 29th of May, where each and every one of us as leaders who stand up for the truth will be able to see our country change and the future of this nation become brighter. I want to thank everybody that has been going out and encourage you to say, if you are not going out, go out. If you are not going out, ensure that every single day you go out. When you come back from work, when you come back from wherever you are, you go out and you spread the message of the truth. That Arise South Africa is on the ballot paper and people must vote for the truth. We are out of time. I'm going to see you all tomorrow. Make sure that you are ready tomorrow. It's agriculture and land. It's going to be explosive.